Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from PJ Media dated February 1st. And if my microphone sounds kind of weird, it's because the settings are a bit off, so I had to change them, and well, we're just going to have to make do because the other way I did it, it sounds like I'm talking underwater. So we're just going to plow through this thing because this is now I think the fourth time that I am re-recording this video because the audio just doesn't work. But enough about me. So this article says, at contentious City Hall meeting, Chicago passes Gaza ceasefire resolution. Because nothing says like cleaning up your own city that has its own problems by calling for a ceasefire resolution in a country that probably barely knows that you exist and that you did such a thing. So let's move on to the article. It says, Chicago became the largest city in America to pass a city council resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. It wasn't easy. The debate between aldermen was sharp and loud. They were joined by several pro-Hamas protesters who interrupted the meeting several times until an exasperated Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is this man right here, as you see from the placard, ordered the meeting cleared of spectators, which might be one thing he's actually done right, because he's done nothing right since then. It says Alderman Deborah Silverstein, the only Jewish member of the council, spoke in opposition to the resolution, giving graphic details about the Hamas attack on October 7th, during which terrorists targeted babies and raped women as a weapon of war. That set off the crowd in the gallery, which called Silverstein a liar, because you're idiots. That's why. Because you guys don't want to believe the truth. This is stuff that actually happened. It has been well documented. There's video of a lot of this stuff. Okay, not just testimony from people, which I can understand you going, hey, maybe that didn't happen. But when there's actual video of a lot of this stuff happening and you're calling a liar, that's willful ignorance on your part. Okay, you're just being an idiot. So, which if I was her, I would have turned around and said, you people are stupid. So from the Chicago Tribune, it says the council voted to consider a revised version of the resolution penned by co-sponsor Alderman Daniel Laspada first. Its language called for a permanent ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, humanitarian aid, and the release of all hostages as the war in Gaza rages on for a fourth month. It also included support for a United Nations ceasefire resolution that's opposed by the federal government. It says, while Laspada said he doesn't have any illusions about that the council's vote will influence international policy, he held out hope skeptics will see that supporters of the ceasefire language vote with hope, we vote with solidarity, and we vote to help the people feel heard in a world of silence. Okay, number of things here. Like I said before, a ceasefire isn't, first of all, they don't even know that you did this and they don't care. All a ceasefire is going to do is mean the end of Israel, because that means they can't clear Hamas out. Okay? Even if that was to happen. Okay? So all you're doing by asking for a ceasefire is asking for Israel to just lay down its arms and be murdered. Okay? It says humanitarian aid, and which is going there, but Hamas steals it. You can see video of it. It's very easy to find. A Google search should take you there, unless Google's effing with their algorithm, with which they have a habit of doing. And the release of all hostages as the war in Gaza rages on for a fourth month. Okay, so doing the release of all hostages. Okay, there's a good thing. And because I think right now it says Hamas, most of the hostages are like the young females that they could do, that sort of stuff too, which has been documented as well. So all those people saying liar and stuff, well, you're stupid. So also included support for a United Nations ceasefire resolution that's opposed by the federal government. Good. Well, it's something good the federal government's actually doing, and who cares about what the UN says? It's a hive of scum and villainy, as we like to say. And it says, and then he's right about saying it doesn't have any illusion that the council's vote will influence international policy. It won't. So this was a complete waste of time. I mean, right there. So it's like, why are you doing this? And he said he hopes skeptics will see that supporters of the ceasefire language will vote with hope, we vote with solidarity, and we vote with help people feel a world of silence. We can hear you. We've always heard you, okay? And the way you get heard isn't to, do the things the Gazans did to the Israelis, okay? That's what we would call going overboard, okay? And not just a little, but by a beyond substantial amount, like orders of magnitude beyond going overboard, okay? So let's keep going here. It says, the resolution you're being asked to consider is not a compromise, Silverstein said. We all want peace in the Middle East, which is true. We all want to an end to the bloodshed and end to the war, but it is vital to understand what caused the conflict, and that would be Hamas. And we're not going to play the game of, well, what about this? Or what about this in the past? Or even this in the past beyond that. We're going to just talking about right now, okay? There was no occupation. You can look up and see that Israel left in 2005, okay? If this was 2005 or before that, I could give you that word, but you can't use that word because it's not a thing that's happening, okay? So That's the only thing we can say about that, is that there was no occupation. So don't try to say there was an occupation there, okay? Because you're wrong. You're just wrong. And again, it's something that you can very easily go find out if you're disputing what I'm saying. Okay, so it says, despite the high-minded rhetoric on the council floor Wednesday, the fight to win the symbolic vote was a classic Chicago political power struggle. As the final push to pass the resolution included an endorsement Monday from powerful unions like the Chicago Teachers Union, who is just a flaming pile of dog crap, and a widespread school walkout Tuesday that included ceasefire calls from hundreds of high school students who, in my opinion, in all likelihood, had no idea what they were doing, or were being told by teachers who also have no idea what the actual situation was and are just ideologically compromised on this. And these kids were probably forced to do this. So, says the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who's always a paragon of virtue, note the sarcasm there, said, who attended the start of the meeting, also threw his support behind the resolution, because of course he did. Jesse Jackson is not exactly a great person. So it's the second time Johnson has broken a council tie when aldermen came up even for and against. I think the vote was 23-23, and Johnson was the 24th vote. And then it just says something about, another alderman where he came up for a tie-breaking vote there. That doesn't matter in terms of what we're talking about. It's this kind of moral posturing while the city's illegal alien crisis threatens to put women and children out in the cold Chicago winter is nauseating. Yeah, there's illegal aliens in police precincts, in O'Hare. I keep wondering every time I go to O'Hare if I'm going to run into a whole batch of them. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to be at O'Hare in a few weeks. It says, and despite a drop in the murder rate, it hasn't fallen that far, nor has the number of shooting victims moderated more than a fraction. Yeah, so let's call for a ceasefire, not in our own town that's getting, obliterated with homicides. Let's do it in a country that doesn't care that we're actually doing it. Good job, guys. Says carjackings and auto theft have skyrocketed as the city's police force has to decide between enforcing the law or losing their jobs. The city council has been tied up in knots for almost a month on this issue. Couldn't have found a better use for its time. Well, it's Chicago politics, so in all likelihood, no. They couldn't have found a better use because that's just what they do. It's let's take care of everything that is not actually the problems that we face right now. Let's just do other things. So, yeah, that's how I feel about this. Not very good. So I think this is just dumb. This wastes everybody's time. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you think this should have happened? Do you think Chicago has probably some other problems they need to be worrying about? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.